Senator Chris Murphy. All right, well, Senator Murphy, let me ask you this. Do you believe President Biden is the future of the Democratic Party, the strongest person to represent Democrats in 2024?
Absolutely. I'm rooting for President Biden to run. I'm pushing for him to run. I think he is our strongest candidate. Joe Biden, with his record of success, with his ability to connect with the American people, and with his history of beating Donald Trump in the past, is our best candidate.
This is President Trump's corruption tour of the Middle East. He is going to the Gulf in order to collect tribute. What's happening here is an extraordinary level of corruption. We shouldn't pretend this is business as usual.
Donald Trump is going to collect tribute, and it's all just out in the open. For Qatar, we recently found out it's a $400 million luxury plane. It's not a gift to the U.S. government. It's a personal gift to the president.
Let's be very clear. The government of Qatar, the Qatari family, has offered to donate this plane to the United States Air Force, where that donation will be accepted according to all legal and ethical obligations. It will be retrofitted to the highest of standards by the Department of Defense and the United States Air Force.
And of course, we just found out this weekend that Qatar is going to be giving Donald Trump a plane, apparently personally.
The president, frankly, has nothing to do with it. It's the Air Force's project to take on.
A foreign government gifting a $400 million luxury plane to the President of the United States.
It's not a personal donation or gift to the President of the United States.
Why did a country give a free, think of this, why did a country give an airplane to the United States Air Force? Okay, the United States, not to me, to the United States Air Force.
It's not a gift to the U.S. government.
By the way, the plane is not a gift to the American people, as the secretary said. It is going directly to Donald Trump.
So they could help us out, because we need an Air Force One until that's Air Force One, it's being built. 2 of them being built. But Boeing's a little bit late, unfortunately. So why did they give us a plane to the United States Air Force? That's what that idiot talks about.
That library will take a decade to build, and so once he leaves the White House, until the library is built, he gets to use that plane to fly around all of his billionaire friends.
A $400 million luxury plane gifted to the President of the United States.
They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay?
Which is the planned gift of a plane to either the United States government or the president.
Giving Donald Trump a $400 million plane for his personal use. That apparently is now the going rate. That's how much money you have to put into Donald Trump's pocket.
This president is handing it to us. He is using this administration, his presidency, to enrich himself and his millionaire friends. We've got to be focused on an economic agenda for everybody else. Is a gift to the United States government, or is it a gift ultimately to the president himself that he can use in his library?
Well, you'd have to talk to the Department of Defense, because this is a replacement, or at least a temporary bridge plane for Air Force One, the new Air Force One, which is way off its delivery schedule.
I've joined with Senators Schatz and Coons and Booker to introduce a resolution condemning the acceptance of the plane. It's a blatant violation of the Emoluments Clause. We could stand together.
The Qatari family has offered to donate this plane to the United States Air Force.
That's what's going to happen to this gift, not to President Trump, but the Department of Defense. This will go through the ethical checks and the legal checks to make sure it is everything's in order before it happens.
The planned gift of a plane to either the United States government or the president.
This plane is not a personal donation or gift to the President of the United States.
It's not your understanding that the plane ultimately will belong to the president or to the president's library after.
What all I've heard is that that plane will replace Air Force One, which is an Air Force plane.
Can't believe he is so crass as to think that it's okay to accept planes as a gift.
I know that, look, President Trump is frustrated that he's flying around in this 40-year-old plane. The president, in his first term, wanted to change the paint scheme from the dark blue, light blue, white to red, white, and blue to make it look more patriotic, and they wouldn't let him do it. He's going to get his way on this.
Is a gift to the United States government, or is it a gift ultimately to the president himself that he can use in his library?
Well,
It's not a personal donation or a gift to the President of the United States.
Would you be saying the same thing if this was a gift to Joe Biden or Barack Obama or Bill Clinton?
Sure.
You would?
I would, because it's not going to Joe Biden. It's not going to Barack Obama. It's going to the Department of Defense.
It's a personal gift to the president. This budget bill is an absolute disaster. It is going to kick over 10 million people off of their health care. Medicaid covers about a quarter of all Americans in order to pass along a new $1 trillion tax cut for the richest 1%. Nobody in this country is asking for that.
The Democrats, once again, they're peddling this lie, right, that it's a tax cut for the billionaires. The fact is, it's a tax cut for every American. 60% of the American population will receive a tax cut. Actually, what will happen is their taxes just won't go up.
That the Republican Party is all about economic growth for millionaires and billionaires, and the Democratic Party is about economic growth for everybody.
One thing we noticed on Medicaid is not one single person had been denied coverage underneath the Biden administration for 4 years. That means they wasn't even checking it. When we just did a quick audit underneath current policy that the Biden administration was operating under, 6 million people on the first look at it through DOGE didn't qualify, meaning that they were healthy individuals, males, no dependents, and single that were on the Medicaid system that shouldn't have been there, or they were flat out illegal immigrants. 1.5 million were illegal immigrants.
Donald Trump's acceptance of the luxury plane from a foreign monarch is basically the corruption.
all I've heard is that that plane will replace Air Force One, which is an Air Force plane.